Dome as we welcome you to the month of November, the first Saturday as UTSA gets set to battle Memphis for just the second time ever and the first time as conference foes. Inside the AAC, the top four, well, the race is on, and Memphis is in contention to reach the American Championship game with a strong finish this month in this 4-team race. Alongside of Sam Acho, I am Roy Philpott. Taylor Davis joins us on the sidelines in just 1 minute. Acho, great to see you, buddy. And what a game we've got.
Returns in his career, kick returns, and last week, 100 yards receiving.
Colorado transfer Chris Carpenter. Mario Anderson was a former Division II All-American at running back. Out of the gun on the first play from scrimmage, and Hennigan's going to heave one deep, man-to-man coverage, intercepted, and a penalty marker comes in. Dumas corralled it. The UTSA secondary, like him, see the intended receiver. And there was contact some 50 yards down the field.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13. 15-yard penalty. First down.
We say good morning to Kevin Randall with the call on a first down for Memphis.
And this is an early indication of what you should expect to see all game long. And so Memphis wants to attack some of the young corners and some of the banged-up secondary of UTSA. This is an early shot play. It's a 50-50 play, but you know the probabilities in your favor for that penalty.
It's been the first interception of the season for Cyrus Dumas. UTSA extremely thin in the secondary. Injuries are a big factor for this program.
False start. Offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That was Chris Adams, so our first two plays from scrimmage, back-to-back penalties. And for Seth Hennigan, the Texas native from Denton's Ryan High School, returns to the Lone Star State. 25 friends and family expected to be here inside the Alamo Dome today. He mentioned this is an important game not only for him personally, but for Memphis this season. Mario Anderson, his first touch. A gain of 3 on first down. Dumas, the tackle.
Hennigan is a winner. You're talking about Denton Ryan, the high school he went to. He was 44-2 in his high school career. And so he knows how to win games, but it's his personality that stands out to me the most. He doesn't get rattled. He stays cool all throughout the game.
Drake goes in motion on second down. Memphis the comeback win at Charlotte. UTSA the loss, the stunning setback at Tulsa to the tight end Lamphere. And Anthony Lamphere, the transfer from San Diego State, makes it 3rd and short, approaching the 48-yard line, a gain of 10.
It's early in the game, Roy, but I'm paying attention to what happens on this 3rd down and what does UTSA do when it comes to bringing pressure. Historically speaking, they love to bring pressure early in games, but this game, we'll see how it plays out if they want to start dropping more people out.
13 personnel on the field. That's 3 tight ends for the Tigers. I wonder if they're already thinking about 4th and short potentially. Anderson, other ideas into plus territory. And a first down, a gain of 3. Well, you think about Mario Anderson, the former Division II All-American at Newberry College in South Carolina, a pit stop with the Gamecocks a year ago in the SEC. The vision and the balance stand out.
Well, they do, and not just to us. They stand out to his running backs coach. I was talking to Lee Marks on the field. He said, man, this guy has great contact balance. Lee Marks is the running back coach for Memphis. He said, I've been so impressed by how he runs so hard and so physical.
And for the first down carry, Anderson again met in the backfield with resistance. And a loss of 1. Martavius French bolts ahead from that middle linebacker spot, 5 in black.
And that's a good thing for UTSA, or so you would think. But that pressure, Roy, we talked about it. They live in opponent's backfield, but Martavius French is a linebacker. As linebackers start getting in the backfield, quarterbacks say, hey, let's throw it over their heads.
Hennigan's got to be thinking about that this morning when you consider Zay Frazier is out, Ken Robinson is out, Denver Harris is not going to play today. It's 2 starting corners and a safety for the Roadrunners. Hennigan wants to throw it here off a play action and had a man breaking open. It was Kobe Drake with a penalty marker coming in late. And Hennigan just missed. 5th-year senior receiver this season, Acho.
Well, even last week, Danye Taylor had a late hit that can lose momentum for your team.
Tigers now officially on the move. Play action again, and this time Drake, the nifty cut into the red zone and shoved out at the 15. Kobe Drake right in front of Jamarius Lewis and a gain of 18.
And one thing that I've noticed, Roy, as you watch this UTSA team on defense, there's some bad angles and some missed tackles. And so we talk about the injuries and talk about some of the losses, but man, when you watch them in space, they need to take better angles to the football and not overrun receivers.
Here goes Anderson again to the edge. Anderson inside the 10, into the end zone for a touchdown. Nacho, he had some outstanding blocking on the perimeter to spring Mario Anderson for the easy 6.
Well, it started with Anthony Lanphier, number 82, the tight end. But I want to talk about Mario Anderson. He has such great vision. That play doesn't necessarily need to go all the way outside. That play technically could cut back. But look at the vision and the block by 82 Lanphier and the vision by Anderson. He says, hey, there's nothing inside. I'm going to use my speed, get to the edge.
Lanphier, the fifth-year senior out of San Diego, California, a transfer from the Aztecs. Caden Costa on for the PAT. 7-0 Memphis, 3.5 minutes in here in San Antonio.
Big time run by Mario Anderson Jr., but even better blocking up front. Memphis is showing you that they want to attack you both ways, on the ground and through the air.
All right, Tina, 6 is hard to beat.
Not for us.
Okay, not soccer, but
Football.
Yes, we have satisfaction.
Doors. High School trained with go points. See that record in year number 5 overall. They're used to 10-win campaigns. They're used to bowl victories and postseason appearances. Different story so far this year.
Well, there are different players so far this year. A lot of what Jeff Traylor's success has been with is guys like Rashad Wisdom, who plays for the Buccaneers right now. Guys like Frank Harris, who's an outstanding quarterback. But now there are new players, younger players, that have an opportunity to make their mark.
Roadrunners just 3-5 this campaign. Robert Henry Jr. A stutter step and stacked up at the line, no gain. A.J. Watts rising up from his safety spot. Second down. Owen McCown, Texas native. His father, the current quarterbacks coach with the Minnesota Vikings. Josh, outstanding career in college, lengthy career in the pros, and it was dropped on the comeback. J.J. Sparkman got his hands on it. Nacho, that's a play that Roadrunners have to make today.
Oh, a play that they're going to go back to. I love that play fake by Owen McCown. That's a veteran move. He shows the ball, and he comes out on the bootleg. No one's on him. That's a perfect pass. Hits you right between the 1 and the 4. That's a play that Sparkman's going to have to make, not only because he's getting more reps, but also because there are other receivers who are out.
Injured receivers, Devin McEwen. Willie McCoy not available to be with the team today. McCown's going to heave one deep, man-to-man coverage. Chris Carpenter tried to come back for it. He was contacted, and pass interference coming against Memphis with Davion Ross.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So the great thing about this play from a UTSA perspective is that Chris Carpenter was behind the corner, behind Davion Ross. Great job, 15 yards, I get it. But what's a bigger deal for me is the fact that UTSA can go back to that play. Chris Carpenter's a burner, so you know that you have the speed to get behind the defense. Go back to that later in this game.
Play action again. McCown wants to go deep. Underneath, wide open. Sparkman with a reception this time. Rumbles inside the 25. Fifth catch of the season for J.J. Sparkman. And providing a spark and 38 yards in the process.
Jalen J.J. Sparkman. So he's 6'4", 235, a senior from Longview, Texas. And he's getting a chance to have more opportunities this year, this week. Receivers are out. That's that deep over route. Perfectly placed ball. Better route by Sparkman. And talk about rebounding from the ball that bounced off the chest.
Empty backfield, 5 wide for the Roadrunners. McCown underneath and incomplete. David Amador, who's seeing his first action this season as a wide receiver. now healthy. The pressure was coming from Bryce Edmondson. 2nd and 10.
Little thing, Roy, but big thing. That ball, you could say it was off balance or off target. Well, Owen McCown was throwing it away from the receiver. Owen McCown his dad played 18 years NFL, uncle played another 12. He knows ball. And so what needs to happen is that receiver needs to feel where the linebacker is and lean out a little bit and get towards that football.
18 years in the National Football League. That's tough. Not easy to do for dear old dad.
Ball start. Offense. Number 51. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
C.J. James, that injury-riddled offensive line. UTSA, one of the more penalized teams in America, nearly 10 per game. Almost 90 yards in infractions per contest. Second and 15, McCown the pump fake. Underneath, Chris Carpenter. Tripped up crossing the 25. It'll be 3rd and long. Edmondson the tackle, a gain of 3.
So it's 3rd down, 3rd and about 12 or so. We talked a lot about the UTSA offense, but we haven't talked a lot about the Memphis defense. Memphis loves to bring pressure as well. There will be times where they'll bring 0 pressure, meaning there's no safety in the backfield. Corners are one-on-one. There'll also be times where they drop 8. And so I'm interested to see early in this game on a 3rd and obvious pass. Looks like Memphis is going to be dropping on this one.
McCown, the slant. And the 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Roadrunners. Jamel Hardy, 8th catch of the season, a gain of 15 on 3rd and 12.
So they call Jamel Hardy Mr. Jumpman. He had a one-handed catch versus Houston Christian earlier in the season. Reliable, that's what I see. I see reliability and I see trust between quarterback and his receivers. It's not the main guys, right? Some of the main guys are out, but it's that community of receivers that there's a trust between the quarterback.
Just like our trust here in the booth between analysts, play-by-play person, Taylor Davis down on the sidelines.
Symbiotic.
A 3-person we. On 1st and goal, McCown thought about running, goes underneath, stepping out was Patrick Overmeyer. We're going to see 3 different tight ends on the field. And a penalty marker in. He may have been out of bounds as that foot came down.
Illegal touching. Offense. Number 89. Went out of bounds on his own and was the first to touch the pass. The penalty is loss of down at the previous spot. 2nd down.
Good vision by the referee, but also that's a great call. So as soon as he caught that ball, 1 foot was out of bounds and 1 foot was in. If you're out of bounds, you cannot be the first one to touch the ball. See that outside foot, it's out of bounds first, and he touches it. And so great call by the refs. Need a little bit more awareness by Overmeyer.
Oscar Cardenas, the talented tight end, injured and out. McCown to the end zone for the touchdown. And what a response, Houston Thomas. Well, they love his potential, just a redshirt sophomore. And for Thomas, his 2nd touchdown grab of the season. Ancho, you better buckle up today because there's going to be some points scored in this one.
There's going to be a lot of offense in this game. Houston Thomas is going to be a big part of it. Last week he went 6 for 132 yards, and with the loss of Oscar Cardenas, their leading tight end, he's going to get a chance to put his name on the map.
Extra point up and good by Tate Sandell. Tied at 7 here in the Alamo Dome.
Houston Thomas leads the tight end group in receiving yards and in catches, but Owen McCown playing a lot like his dad.
ESPN College Football is presented by Ashley, for the love of home.
The quesadilla, some Tex-Mex in San Antone, and look at how perfectly the tortilla is cooked to perfection. And the little brown edges there, you know that it's going to taste good here in the Lone Star State.
Why didn't we go to eat there yesterday? Like, that's my question.
Know. Shame on us.
Staying at a hotel, haunted mansion, they say, but I wanted that.
That will get the appetite fired up early, and we're still in the morning. in San Antonio. Tied at 7, great football game, critical game for the Memphis Tigers at 7-1, 3-1 in the AAC. Samacho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis survive in advance for Memphis, and they will be tested in the Alamo Dome, where UTSA has dominated the competition since Jeff Traylor took over. Just 3 losses in 5 years. Undefeated this campaign. Seth Hennigan gets the football back. We check in with Kevin Connors for the first time.
Roy, quesadillas for everybody, and 8 unbeatens in college football to start the day. Miami, one of them. Trevor, what does Cam Ward do here?
Well, he doesn't need to run around like this, but I guess he's so used to being spectacular he couldn't help himself. Then 2 receivers get together on the scramble drill. That's wrong, but it worked out.
Xavier
It's not how you drive, it's how you arrive. And for Cam Ward, that works to perfection. He is so calm under pressure.
He's electric. He puts up amazing plays that are highlight reel type plays.
Hennigan will fake it to Anderson. Blankham C racing ahead for a first down. Across the 40, a gain of 15. Head coach at Memphis, Ryan Silverfield. We had a great conversation with him and his staff this week. 38 wins in year number 5. The lone loss to Navy, and it came late on a pick 6 as Memphis attempted the comeback. It's almost as if the Tigers are the college football program this year in the FBS that society has forgotten because of that one setback. You watch them on film, they've got talent, experience, quality coaching. They're in position, they'll fake the toss. Anderson on the swing route, racing out at the 44, gain of 3. Owen Pee-wee shoved him out of bounds.
That's a good read by Seth Hennigan, but there's a better read. He had a receiver wide open running across the middle of the field, so I'm sure they're going to go back to that play. The defense for UTSA is showing that they're doing the same things they do on tape. Look at this post route right there. Number 10, there's no safety help in the middle, so Kobe Drake was open and was available. So expect Memphis to go back to that. Maybe not now, but as this game goes on.
Brock Taylor goes in motion. On second down, here's Hennigan. And a quick strike to Taylor. Falls incomplete. Was breaking open, but Hennigan felt that pressure right through the A-gap, right beside his starting center.
The benefit, Roy, of bringing pressure and of blitzing and of living in opponent's backfield is that you get them into 3rd and long and 3rd and obvious, not 3rd and 1 and 2. Obvious meaning obvious pass. Right now, you have to pass the ball, and so the pass rushers for UTSA get a chance to dial in. You don't have to bring 5 or 6 or 7. You could bring 4 guys and win.
And movement up front.
False start, offense, number 65, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Jonah Gamble. Sam, it's not a packed house today, but in the enclosed stadium, it does get loud and it can be impactful.
It does, and even if it's not a packed house, you still feel the fact that you're in an enemy environment. You're not at home. You hear the voice over the loudspeaker, the fans, their cheerleaders, and their defense. It's not a comfortable environment.
On 3rd and 12. They can buy a little bit of time and slide in, crossing the 40, and a late marker comes in. He gave himself up, and it was Danye Taylor, who was just called for a penalty on the last drive. And he knows it.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit, defense, number 7, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
So you may say, okay, after the play is over. What do you mean after the play is over? The quarterback just started his slide. Well, the rule is as soon as that quarterback starts his slide, as soon as his backside starts to go down, the play is dead. And so it may look like, quote, a bang-bang play. That is not bang-bang. According to the rules in college football, as soon as that backside starts to drop, play is over. So that's another negative play, another late hit by Danye Taylor. That's the right call.
5 penalties for 50 yards. We're a little more than halfway through the first quarter for UTSA. Anderson, the vision, inside the 40. Those kinds of penalties you can't have for a team that's trying to get back in bowl contention that's trying to take that next step and turn its season around.
But the question I have is, well, how do you stop it? Like, okay, this is one of our star players. Sometimes you have to put somebody else in. You say, hey, if you're going to keep on having these unnecessary penalties, let's find someone else who may not be as talented of a player, but is not going to be penalized and cost our team.
UTSA, the new running back, he's been injured the last couple of weeks. They'll fake it to him, send it back to Rock Taylor. Had to beat one man, he couldn't do it. And on 2nd and short, Taylor has enough for the first down. Elliot Davison was able to chop him down at the last minute.
A great tackle by Davison right there. That was a big-time play. Without that tackle, that play goes either to the end zone or at least 10, 20 more yards.
Taylor, the senior from Oxford, Alabama, leading receiver last year and this. We showed you the game winner last week in the comeback against Charlotte. Rock and Seth, his quarterback. Great relationship, great chemistry on the field. Hennigan on first down, pressure, and he's sacked. Right up the gut, John Jones, and a loss of 8.
That was a beautiful pass rush move by John Jones. I get excited about moves like that. John Jones rushing from the inside. Use what we call a side swipe. He's your right defensive tackle. His hands are going to swipe and get the offensive line's hands off of him. That's a move that's so hard to make in such tight quarters. As an outside linebacker, it's easier. But on the inside, things happen so much faster. So great job by John Jones on the two-hand side swipe.
First sack of the season. He did have half a sack before that play. 2nd and 18. Hennigan wants it all. Taylor reels it in at the 5. It'll be 1st and goal. Coverage all over the top of him with Duma. No problem for the Rock.
Not even that there's no problem. It doesn't matter, right? Like with Seth Hennigan and Rock Taylor, Seth doesn't care who's on Rock Taylor. He's throwing the ball to the Rock.
Hennigan keeps it. And stopped to the 4. Zone read. You'll see a ton of Seth Hennigan on the ground. Elliot Davidson, another nice stop. 2nd and goal.
So this is the game, Roy. We talked a little bit before we started the broadcast of how there's probably going to be a lot of points. But if you're UTSA, you can hold them to a field goal. All of a sudden, those 4 points that you end up saving could be the difference between winning and losing.
And red zone defense. Certainly something to follow today. And for Memphis, the field goal far from a guarantee with some of the kicking problems we've seen between Vanderberg and Costa. Mario Anderson back on the field. Tigers out of that pistol look. Anderson, no. Christian Clayton, yes. The tackle, no gain.
So it's not only the red zone defense, but it's the big-time players on the inside. Clayton has great hands, takes on a double team, and avoids it. But what I'm more worried about if I'm Memphis is, this is the 2nd week in a row that I've been in the red zone and I haven't had a way to get in the end zone. They've gone for it on 4th down multiple times down here and haven't gone in. I know it's just 3rd, Roy, but you don't get it here. Puts you in a precarious position.
Anderson motions out. Hennigan tries to float it. He had a man wide open, and it went right over his fingertips. Blankumsey can't believe it. And that's one Hennigan would love to get back, but he felt the pressure coming.
Oh, absolutely. Great job by the front 4 of UTSA. You see the great get off by Jamal Ligon. Actually, that was Jamori Robinson on the edge, but the get off was unbelievable. Now, Roy, the moment of truth. Field goal kicker is on the field.
We were told it would be a game-time decision between Costa and Vandenberg. Caden Costa, the Ole Miss transfer. 7 of 12 so far this year in field goals. Basically a glorified extra point, a 22-yard attempt. Up and in. Just inside that right upright. And Memphis back in front, 10-7. Under 3 to go in a fast-moving first quarter in San Antonio.
Let's go to our next segment, Fairest Calls, inspired by Geico's fair and fast 24/7 claim service.
Do we have to do the Geico stuff while I'm here?
Yep, we do. Let's play the clip.
Holding. Number 53, 10-yard penalty.
This literally happens every game. Can we just skip to the action? Nope, nothing but fair and fast claims, just like Geico. Here's the next clip. But I don't want to play the clip.
Pass interference, number 34.
Wow, doesn't get any fairer than this, boys.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
Three possessions, three scores back in San Antonio, and just a stone's throw from the Alamo itself. 10-7, Memphis leading UTSA in a game the Tigers absolutely have to have to remain in the AAC championship hunt. Top two teams in the league, of course, advance to the championship game in early December. And from what we know about the American Conference, you win this league, you've got a chance the old school system of the 14 playoff to go to the New Year's Six bowl game, and now a chance to go to the whole enchilada. Let's send you back to the studio and Kevin Connors.
Hi, Roy. Penn State has jumped on Ohio State thanks to Zion Tracy.
Yeah, this was receivers crossing. The defenders did not cross. They switched them off. So Tracy was in perfect position for this pick six.
Fast start in the helmet strike game. It's 10-0 Nittany Lions. Roy.
Happy Valley is on fire right now. You can sense it in that highlight, Sam.
But I wish it was a night game, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like that environment, those teams playing at night, whiteout. How awesome would that have been?
Penn State just wants the dub. They don't care. They're so desperate.
I respect it.
UTSA with the football. And Robert Henry Jr. shoved out after a gain of 9 and just short of the line to gain. DJ Bell, an incredible interception last week against Charlotte, missed the tackle on that play, and that was able to spring Henry for a nice game. Can you imagine being Ryan Day? Penn State holds on to win that game. Breaking open. Look at the speed. Chris Carpenter. First down and goal for the Roadrunners. Sam, he hit a different gear, blazing down the far sideline, a gain of 60.
A different gear, but on Jordan Greer. Jordan Greer is a safety for Memphis, and safeties should not be allowed to cover a man with the speed of Chris Carpenter. He is a burner. That's what his coaches described him as. That's also what the tape says. Second time this game so far that Carpenter has been behind the defense. That's a bad sign and a bad omen for Memphis.
Offensive play caller Justin Burke told us yesterday he can really push it vertical. And we saw it on display there. First and goal. It's like basketball on turf so far. The points that we've seen. Open was Amador. It'll be second down.
They're going to go back to that play, Roy. And the reason I say that is this. Amador is his first game back in a long time. And so that play is more based off of timing, right? This back shoulder play, and Amador and McCown have to get on the same page. But the play was open. It's got to get back connected on exactly how to run the route and where to throw the ball.
David Amador, hamstring injury, forced him out the entire season until today. We'll try Henry, a jump cut and a stutter step. 1 yard gain, third down. Goal to go.
And Roy, I know that you're saying, all right, Sam, it's the red zone again. Why are you talking about how important this time is? But this time is extremely important. This 4-point potential swing for teams that can get the ball down the field so quickly is the difference, and it means everything.
McCown on the move to the tight end for the touchdown. Dan Dishman caught a scoring strike last week, his second of the season this week. Tight end UTSA. Well, they got weapons galore for the jumbo athletes. Owen McCown, 6 completions, to 5 different receivers. And the 2 touchdowns, one to Thomas, the other to Dishman. And a pair of tight ends filling in for Cardenas. And a penalty marker on the PAT. Kevin Randall talked to Jeff Traylor.
Illegal formation, defense. There was someone lined up over the snapper. That penalty is declined. The result of the try, it was good.
14-10. Roadrunners in front as we take a look at the Taco Bell Live Más student section. All season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más student section of the year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. Now, there's something special about the Alamo Dome for the Roadrunners. They find ways to win games. Undefeated this year. Chris Carpenter, a reason why they've got a chance here today.
Well, he's living behind the defense, and that's where you want to be if you're a receiver. But it's not just that; it's his touchdown pass. Remember, they missed it earlier in the series. They went back to that same exact play to a different player. That was Dan Dishman for the touchdown. And so, there's opportunities and windows that are open that UTSA is taking advantage of.
Well, you can see the relationship between Carpenter and McCown there. It is only growing by the game. 4 possessions, 4 scores, over 250 yards of total offense. Let's get you back to the studio. Busy day for Kevin Connors.
Indeed, Roy, and back comes Ohio State in this top 5 matchup. Trevor, it's Will Howard to Emeka Egbuka.
The Buckeyes did some trickeration with the tight end on the left, and the defense didn't figure out where the eye candy was and where the real threat was.
It's a 10-7 game, Roy.
Casey, can you imagine being James Franklin if Penn State loses this game today in Happy Valley with the week to come, trying to get that first win against the top 5 team since way back in 2016, of course, against Ohio State. Tigers back on the field. Seth Hennigan, record-setting quarterback for Memphis. Pocket collapsing on first down, incomplete. The crossing pattern to Drake. And don't forget, coming up at 3:30 Eastern, ABC, ESPN Plus, number 2 Georgia, and the Florida Gators, live from Jacksonville. And then later tonight, cap off the evening, number 10 Texas A&M, down at Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia. Underrated South Carolina, Lenora Sellers, Dylan Stewart, and that Gamecock defense on full display in primetime. 7:30 Eastern. Samacho, Roy, Philpott, Taylor Davis. A lot happening in the AAC today. Memphis trying to stay among the top 4 teams in the conference. Still on his feet and enough for the first down. Demir Blankumsey. And a gain of 15 yards.
Where you said underrated South Carolina. How about underrated Texas A&M?
They're scary.
They're a scary football team. Playing great on defense, finding their identity on offense.
I feel like they're more properly rated now inside the top 10 after the comeback against LSU last week. Who does Mike Elko start at quarterback? Connor Wigman, Marcel Reed, pick your poison, elite arm, incredible athletes. How about the hurdle? Mario Anderson Jr. and a gain of 8 on first down.
Speaking of incredible athlete, ask Elliot Davison about that. Mario Anderson Jr. just jumped over the safety
in the first quarter
for the defense. He is an elite level athlete with elite level vision. And oh, by the way, try out for the Olympics because hurdles is in your future.
Let's go to our next segment, Fairest Calls, inspired by Geico's fair and fast 24/7 claim service.
Do we have to do the Geico stuff while I'm here?
Yep, we do. Let's play the clip.
Holding, number 53, 10-yard penalty.
This literally happens every game. Can we just skip to the action? Nope, nothing but fair and fast claims, just like Geico. Here's the next clip. But I don't play the clip.
Pass interference, number 34.
Wow, doesn't get any fairer than this, boys.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
You see you at the top, step it up, step NWSL quarterfinals on ABC and ESPN+.
4 iconic programs tip off the season with fresh faces and renewed hope.
At long last, the wait is over.
The State Farm Champions Classic, Kansas-Michigan State at 6:30, then Kentucky-Duke, Tuesday on ESPN.
We welcome you back inside the Alamo Dome. UTSA with a 14-10 lead over Memphis. Coach Silverfield joins me now. Coach, scores on every possession in that first quarter. What's going to make the difference in this one?
You know, when we get down the red zone, we got to come away with a touchdown rather than a field goal. And then defensively, we're giving up the shot, right? I mean, we just can't let the ball fly over our head. We got to do a better job.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Third straight game Memphis has trailed after the first quarter. On the move again, approaching midfield, 2nd and short. Seth Hennigan, all-time leading passer in Memphis history, throws for the first down into UTSA territory. And a gain of 7. And Taylor, we are seeing head coach Ryan Silverfield work that iPad to perfection down on the sidelines, right?
Probably the most I've seen of any head coach utilizing them specifically for this offense. He watches the iPad, brings it into the huddles of various position groups, giving them active input in game.
Offensive-minded coach. The triple pump fake by Hennigan results in a gain of 3 to Lanphier. It's like that slow motion play in basketball. Big man down low and he pump fakes 3 times. You're wondering what's going to happen next. He found a way to get it done.
That was my favorite move, right? I'll get the post and just pump till they jumped. I love it. That pump fake is, part of it is trying to get the defender's hands up and then get them back down. Other part of it could be to get those linebackers even deeper, or if you're a basketball player, just have those defenders run and jump and let them fly over your head. You get an easy layup.
I was always the 3-point shooter. I wasn't the pump fake guy down to the post.
Nah, dude, I was a big post. I was a big guy, you know, baby Shaq.
I could see it. 2nd and 6. How about the spin by Anderson? He'll fall forward across the 40. 2-yard gain, 3rd down coming up for Memphis. Tigers have won 4 in a row after that loss to Navy. Now have trailed after the first quarter in 3 straight games, including today.
What we've seen so far, what I expect to see is that ball has gone toward the sideline more on some of these 3rd and manageable, right? 3rd, 3, 4, 5, 3rd and medium. The ball isn't always going down the field. It's going more towards the sideline or shorter connecting routes.
I have to believe Ryan Silverfield has no intentions of punting this football this deep in UTSA territory. If it gets to 4th down, let's see. Hennigan surveys, being chased across the middle. 1st down, Tigers. Now the dump off to Shorter. And Jair Shorter, his 10th catch of the season, a 7-yard gain on 3rd and 4. An injured Tiger after the reception by Shorter. Yes. Jair, the transfer from Auburn, remains down and in pain.
Yeah, it's a 3-man rush, so great job in coverage by the defense. The negative part about a 3-man rush is that the quarterback could have more time, and then Shorter gets hit low by Milton.
Injury timeout as we step aside in San Antonio.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play.
All right, Tina, 6 is hard to beat.
Not for us.
Okay, not soccer, but
Football.
Yes. We honeymooned here.
Mallorca.
Yes. Pass.
No, we don't pass, Tina. Come on, baby.
They help give you more.
A tax professional.
And they have a 97% satisfaction rating.
Salami.
You could have done it in a British accent.
That's helpful, Randy.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
Roadrunners by 4, Memphis on the move. We take a look at the updated probabilities for a team out of the group of 5 to reach the new 12-team college football playoff. Memphis at 2%. With a win today, that is going to move upwards in a venue where UTSA has not lost at home this year, and you see the other teams from the American, Army, Tulane, Navy, all a part of that mix. And keep in mind, Memphis at Tulane on Thanksgiving, the final day, the final game of the regular season in the American this fall. So opportunities exist on the screen. Anderson with a pass and a cut and a first down into the red zone. Elijah Newell with the tackle, a gain of 15.
Notice how aggressive that cut was. I mean, that's one thing I love about Mario Anderson. Like, he does everything with intent. The catch, he snatches the ball out of the air, and then he cuts back after his block, and then he sees the defensive back and just cuts subtly but aggressively to get extra yards. I really admire his game.
Memphis, a different quarterback checking in, and nothing doing, a loss of 2. Number 7 came in, a 3-yard loss, and we have yet to see that from the Tigers. And the TFL makes it 2nd and long.
That was Arrington Maiden, the freshman, the true freshman, making an appearance.
Ryan Silverfield going to roll the dice a little bit, 2nd and 13. UTSA's defense was ready and waiting. Hennigan back in. Roadrunners show pressure off the edge. Owen Peewee snuck up to the line, now retreats. Hennigan floats it, end zone, wide open for the touchdown. Demir Blankumsey sprung free for maybe the easiest touchdown strike for Seth Hennigan this season.
If there are weapons for this offense, the 3 people who have touched the ball are those weapons. Number 3, Rock Taylor. Number 2, Mario Anderson. And the last one is Demir Blankumsey, number 0. The defense was worried about him, and now he's getting the ball early in the game.
Tim Cramsey told us this week he needed to create more explosive plays. Numeral 0 in white. 4 catches, 59 yards, and a touchdown so far. Seth Hennigan continues his masterful work. Now 92 career touchdowns. Memphis back in front. We've yet to see a defensive stop in this game.
And Demir Blankumsey lined up on a safety. It's never a good matchup to have a receiver with that much speed on a safety. Blankumsey for the touchdown. Explosion in action.
Close game back in the Alamo Dome. Memphis by 3. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. We take a look at the percentages and the possibilities. The top 12 teams right now, according to the All-State Playoff Predictor, with better than a 50% chance of reaching the new 12-team college football playoff. We've highlighted Miami that has the best chance. Boise State and BYU. Boise State technically with a higher percentage chance than the team that currently leads in the Big 12. And what that means, there's a difference between seeding and ranking. And Boise State with the highest rated,
they would actually get that first
football playoff. That bracket was certainly interesting and different because it was ranked in terms of and seeded in terms of the highest percentage chance for those teams to go in. The 12 teams that you saw, all better than a 50% chance. And there's going to be some controversy. Remember, the first reveal is coming up Tuesday. Let's see what the committee feels and how they feel and think of Boise State. Army out of the American. Memphis out of the American Conference. We will start to get some of those questions answered beginning Tuesday night with the first reveal.
Start. Offense. Number 55. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So, Sam, the Roadrunners get it back, and another penalty. Kamar, Missouri, 6th infraction against UTSA so far. Did you follow all that, by the way? I know it gets a little complicated.
Well, I love it because they're putting an emphasis on conference champions. So if you win your conference and you're higher rated, you will get that bye week. But if you play in the conference championship and lose, you could still be in, or you could potentially be out.
Well, the drama yet to unfold. McCown escaped the pocket and then slides in after a 1-yard gain, maybe 2. Elijah Herring, the tackle, he was running horizontally trying to escape the defense and could not do it.
But where I'm wondering, when will Memphis make a stop? Like, when will they stop UTSA on defense? If Memphis wants to compete for an AAC championship and They only have one loss right now, that one loss in conference. They have to find a way to get a stop on defense. They haven't been able to do it bringing pressure, haven't brought a ton of pressure yet. And it's hard to when you're getting receivers running behind you.
Torian Barnes, the running back. He motions out. And McCown off his back foot. Dangerous pass, nearly intercepted near midfield. We send you back to the studio and Kevin Connors.
And Roy, Will Howard has just thrown his second touchdown pass of the day. This one to Brandon Inniss.
Right, and he has been hot except for when he wasn't. He threw that pick 6, but since then he's distributed the ball and he's pushed it downfield.
First touchdown of the year for Inniss. Roy, it's 14-10.
4 versus 3. Ohio State the lead on the road. A free play for Owen McCown. Chris Carpenter tried to come back for it. No penalty marker in terms of pass interference. Davion Ross was all over him. Credit to McCown for knowing that was a free play on the offsides.
Yeah, but I feel like that definitely could have been a pass interference.
Defense, number 31. In the neutrals under the snap, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Jeff Traylor was out of his mind on that sequence 40 yards down the field.
Well, smart play by McCown on initially having that hard count, letting the defense jump off sides and still playing with that free play. But I think this play looks like it could have easily been a pass interference. He was interfered with. The DB doesn't turn back around until very, very late. For me, it's called.
Veteran officiating crew likely missed that one. On 3rd down, McCown, the crosser. Got to go, and short of the line to gain is Amador. So he's now in the box score with a gain of 6 on 3rd down. For Jeff Traylor, do you think about going for it here? It's 4th and just a couple.
Looks like they're going to punt, but I had no issues with them going for it. You're saying, dude, they're at the 33-yard line. But this game is a game that's going to come down to points. So far, you've been able to get them. I don't have an issue with you taking a risk right now.
And shout out Pat McAfee, the first time we've seen a punter today. The first stop by either defense. Kobe Drake back deep to receive this Cale Hogan punt, assuming he gets rid of it. And he does. A booming kick that turns over beautifully. And a fair catch by Drake at the 15. Punt of 52 yards. Nothing on the return. The Sunday NFL Countdown crew has you covered. Week 9 is here. 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific. Then Monday Night Countdown. They'll get you set for the Bucks and Chiefs at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. The 2-hour show live from Arrowhead, both on ESPN and the app. The Chiefs aren't playing great. They're 7-0. What happens when they really start to turn it on with Mahomes?
And with DeAndre Hopkins, right? Like they're just adding weapon after weapon after weapon. Yes, so many injuries, but they still haven't lost. So it'll be interesting to see when Travis Kelce starts getting hot again, and with Hopkins' addition.
Is Kelce going to get hot again?
I think he will be.
Hasn't shown it yet. Fake it to Anderson, handing it back on the field with confidence. Another precision strike and a first down. Blankumsey, his 5th catch for 13 this time. Now, Taylor Seth Hennigan, you talked to him this week. He is calm, cool, and collected on the field.
Oh, yeah. We mentioned Coach Silverfield's usage of the iPads on the sideline, a lot of which with his quarterback, Seth Hennigan. And when we talked to him, we said, Coach, this isn't the typical thing in college football anymore, having the same starting quarterback this long. He said, we breathed belief into him as a 17-year-old kid, and that loyalty has been rewarded.
Now, he's the only FBS quarterback to start for 4 years at the same school currently playing. How about that strike? Blankumsey again. There he goes to the end zone. From 69 yards out, how nice was that?
One thing that I love about Seth Hennigan is that he makes NFL type of throws. What do I mean by that? This ball could have been on a rope, but instead he lobbed it up to throw it under his receiver, to let his receiver, Demir Blankumsey, run underneath it. Brilliant job, not only changing your arm angle, but the trajectory of the football. That's NFL caliber adjustments.
Demir may have hurt himself on the celebration. He came down awkwardly on that left leg. You hope that he's okay. How about the longest play from scrimmage for Memphis this season? And Blankumsey, 6 grabs, 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. They said they wanted more explosives. How about this? But Demir, you need to take a page from your quarterback. The end zone celebration.
Kevin Connors in studio. AT&T is keeping fans connected as we take a look at our multi-view over on ABC. Duke has tied it up with Miami at 14. Jackson Dart, 3 touchdown passes. Ole Miss pouring it on Arkansas. Stanford, NC State, high-scoring first half. Vandy, Auburn just underway over on the SEC Network. And Roy, Army has a 6-0 lead on Air Force.
Without Bryson Daly, no less. That's something to consider for the Black Knights down the stretch, and hopefully he's able to get back on the field in short order. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. And the Manny Diaz Bowl between Miami and Duke seems awfully entertaining, as has Demir Blankenship been. 142 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns so far, and we hope he's healthy.
Well, he's extremely explosive. That's one thing that shows up on tape, and right here you can't line him up against a safety, but also that big play. What a pass by Hennigan. Demir Blankenship shows off his speed. He transferred from Toledo, 5'10", 185. But that injury did not look good, and I hope and pray that he's okay.
Taylor, you saw Blankenship down on the sidelines. It sounded like he was in pain, right?
Very evident how much pain he's in. He's still in the medical tent. He came out briefly, walked on his own accord, is back in with trainers now.
Middle screen is incomplete. Owen McCown retreating. He had it set up. Robert Henry is going to try to turn around and spin his way for big yards, and Blankenship out of the tent and appears to have settled down a little bit. We'll see where he's going. It looks like to the locker room. On second down, Henry, 2 defenders miss, another spin, and corralled and driven down. 4-yard gain. Quickly it's third down.
And this series, Roy, has to be a series if Memphis wants to continue this, to win this game, or even to go to an AAC championship game. Somebody has to step up. We saw it last series. The defense made a big time third down stop after a penalty. You're in that same position, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, obvious pass. Somebody has to step up on this Memphis defense. Alternatively, UTSA still looking for some points on this last 2 series.
Brandon High in at running back. He's been injured since ECU. Across the middle, the seam is there, and a first down to Chris Carpenter inside the 40. And a gain of 32, and the Roadrunners want to show some tempo here.
Yeah, what a pass by Owen McCown to Carpenter. He finds the soft spot in the zone and just throws a dart and a dime right in between the 2 defenders.
McCown with time. Steps back and floats it out of bounds. Taylor, Chris Carpenter, what a special player for the Roadrunners this season.
And a long-term history with Owen McCown. The 2 actually went to different high schools, but grew up not far from each other in Texas. And they told me that they would often go to parks in the summer and just throw and catch together. They were friends for a long time. Never imagined their collegiate careers would take them to the same team. And now, given all of the injuries this offense is dealing with, they're looking to Chris Carpenter to be that guy now.
Can really get vertical, and they expected him to today against this Memphis defense. A quick toss to Henry. That was awkward. They were close, and Henry tripped up. Chandler Martin, the reigning AAC Defensive Player of the Week, number 11 in white. Big numbers this season. His first big play today.
Yeah, and just Taylor, going back to that point, they went to different high schools, but both in East Texas. You know, Chris Carpenter went to he's from Jacksonville, Texas. So to your point, growing up together, throwing together, now playing on the same team, you see the chemistry on full display.
Third down and long. And for the Roadrunners, Justin Burke, you have to be thinking about at least getting about half of this first down yardage to give yourself a chance to go for it on 4th. McCown thinking otherwise, but brought down. The form tackle by Martin. Stopped at the 36, a gain of 7. And at least for the moment, Tate Sandell trots on the field for a long field goal attempt.
Yeah, Chandler Martin's a leader of this defense. He does a smart thing by getting depth, but he has his eyes on the quarterback the entire time. He's one of their captains, first team all AAC last year. He's the guy they look to for critical stops just like that.
Sandell just 1 miss on the season. His career long of 52 came at Rice. This would be from 54. Well, it's insides, obviously. The element's not a factor. He's got a strong leg, and it's on the way. Sandell from way downtown. And back to a one-score game. A career-long field goal for the redshirt sophomore, Tate Sandell.
Tate Sandell was hitting it from about 55 and 60 in warm-ups, and so there's so much confidence from him. But those 3 points are going to be critical. You were down by 10 initially. Now all of a sudden you get to a one-score game on a 54-yarder. Kudos to Tate Sandell.
A thing of beauty. If you're a fan of the Roadrunners or a former kicker like myself, struck beautifully for the career-long effort.
But is there, so if you're going for a career-long, Roy, what is going through your mind as a former amazing high school kicker? What goes through your mind on career-long attempts?
Sandell's thinking exactly what you mentioned. In pregame warm-ups with ease from 55, maybe as deep as 59 or 60. So he knows it's within his range. And there's a certain level of confidence that comes with that. Wind's not a factor. You're playing at home. Team needs it. Fully confident. You could see it and feel it with the stroke, the foot through the pigskin.
But there's a difference between pregame warm-ups and the real thing. I know as an outside linebacker, warm-ups are easy, but the real thing, Roy, as a kicker, that look confident.
He's nearly perfect this season. That confidence on display in that sequence. That was fun. More special team segments here on the show. Ensuing kickoff, 8 yards deep. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman will be live in Kansas City. Our Week 9 Monday Night Football matchup. Patrick Mahomes, the undefeated Chiefs, Super Bowl champions again. Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, live from Arrowhead Stadium, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, Peyton and Eli again on ESPN2. Seth Hennigan back on the field for the Tigers, leading by 7. Sammy's completed 8 straight passes in the zone today for the senior from Denton, Texas. Roadrunners show pressure. Now retreating, here they come. Mario Anderson against the blitz, breaks free. Anderson a first down. Well, we talked about his vision, his balance, tough to bring down, and a powerful runner at the end of these plays.
And the intent of this run, I love the fact that they ran right into the blitz. Why do you say that? Because if one person misses a tackle, there's one less either linebacker or safety deep to try and get a stop. And so Mario Anderson sees it. He cuts back right to the teeth of that blitz, makes somebody miss, and gets a big-time first down.
He can catch it. He can run it nearly 6 yards per touch. He'll get a breather. Waterford comes on to spell Anderson. And straight ahead, diving across the 40. He'll bust through for a gain of 4. Anderson led South Carolina in rushing a season ago. Division II All-American at Newberry College, now back on the playing surface here at the Dome.
Yeah, nearly 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns going into this game, but he's very selfless. You talked to him or listened to him before the game. He said, man, my goal is to help Seth Hennigan win an AAC championship. And so he's not thinking about himself. He's thinking about how to serve.
A humongous talker, according to Ryan Silverfield. And between him and Seth Hennigan, the two leaders, not only for the offense, but for this Memphis team. Hennigan on second down, incomplete. Spinning around was Landfield. Big play now for the Roadrunners defense in a critical moment in this game, trying to get the football back to McCown, trailing by just a touchdown.
And notice who's coming back on the field. Their pass rushers, Jamori Robinson, Jamal Ligon. Some of their edge rushers are getting on the field to try and create pressure. I don't know if UTSA wants to bring pressure, at least with linebackers, because so far they haven't been able to handle the one-on-one coverage. So if I'm UTSA, I might bring 5 and have 2 or 3 linebackers drop out and play the underneath routes.
8 in the box for the Roadrunners. Hawkins went in motion. Hennigan wants to throw it. Backside pressure. The comeback route to Rock Taylor and stop 1 yard shy of the line to gain, Sam. It'll be 4th and short. Owen Pee-wee the tackle. What does Ryan Silverfield want to do? The analytics are going to tell you in this moment you need to go for it. It's 4th and 2 or less. It's 4th and a yard.
Yeah, analytics are great, but one thing great about football is that you can steal the momentum. UTSA defensively just scored, and now they got a chance to stop and steal the momentum from this team. And so if I'm UTSA, I'm willing to bring pressure. I'm not going to let Hennigan or the running back have the rock.
And a timeout called by UTSA.
UTSA.
See, he's one of their main and reps that offensive line and your tight ends.
Doyle went in motion. Anderson, the running back, and the carry straight ahead. I don't think so. He was stopped just beyond the line of scrimmage. He needed a full yard, more than 3 feet. And the Roadrunners claiming they stopped him. Let's see. I thought he was short, Sam. And he was. Brandon Brown met him in the hole. Not today.
Needed 3 yards. Got 2 feet and maybe 10 inches. Brandon Brown, great job getting off of the block and not letting Mario Anderson fall forward. Brandon Brown's one of the leaders of this team, leaders of this defense. We asked the coaching staff about him, and they said he is our guy. Doesn't complain. He takes on double teams, does all the little things to help our team win. That's a little thing, but makes a big difference for a big human being.
Starting in plus territory. Henry to the edge, a little shake and bake, a penalty marker, a gain of just 1, and holding will negate this play.
Holding, offense, number 53, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
If you're UTSA right now, Roy, this game, though you're losing, couldn't really have gone any better. I mean, we talked to the coaches, they were like, man, we have this guy down and that guy down, and man, Memphis has so much talent, yet you're down by 1 score, just had a huge 4th down stop, have all the momentum. If I'm UTSA right now, number 1, I think about taking a shot, but number 2, I take my time. I want to end this half with points, but I want to end this half with the ball.
And the Roadrunners do receive the football to begin our second half. You and I have talked a lot this year about 2 for 1 and the chance to have those back-to-back possessions. Owen McCown dumps it off. Here's running back Barnes. Back to the original line of scrimmage, +1 and maybe 2 more. Chandler Martin, Matt Hudson combined to make the tackle, a gain of 11.
Yeah, that play was great for Owen McCown, but even better for your offensive coordinator, because now instead of being in 1st and 15 or 2nd and 15, now you're in 2nd and manageable. You can run it, you can pass it, you have options.
Big slate of games later this afternoon and tonight. McCown, the left-hander, incomplete. Penalty marker comes in. Chris Carpenter was the receiver that broke open for a second. UTSA missing 19 players today due to injuries, plus Willie McCoy.
Pass interference, defense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
McCoy welcomed in his daughter, Camilla McCoy, last night. And as a result, staying with mom and daughter this afternoon for this game. Really, we hope everything is going great. And meanwhile, on the field, penalties starting to mount up for both sides. Memphis now 5 infractions for 41 yards. Here's Barnes with a crease. Stopped at the 30 at 4-yard pickup. Acho, you lose 19 players to injury. The majority of those individuals lost for the season even before last week's game in the loss at Tulsa. I don't have enough time to read all the names listed here. Plus, we mentioned Willie McCoy, who's not available today. Obviously, the bulk of your starters in the defensive backfield, weapons at wide receiver, and the defense has been suspect at times, in part because a lot of the starters unavailable. And we mentioned McCoy, a part of that list, even though he is not injured. McCown breaks free. Owen McCown with a first down. what should be the final play before the 2-minute timeout. Bryce Edmondson stopped him, but not before McCown reached the red zone. UTSA on the move, trailing by 7.
Sneaky athletic is the words that they would use to describe Luke McCown. Not the biggest guy, but uses athleticism to get the first down and get his team in scoring position.
Let's go to our next segment, Fairest Calls, inspired by Geico's fair and fast 24/7 claim service.
Do we have to do the Geico step on him here?
Yep, we do. Let's play the clip.
Holding, number 53, 10-yard penalty.
This literally happens every game. Can we just skip to the action? Nope, nothing but fair and fast claims, just like Geico. Here's the next clip.
Studio coming up on the Voya half. Bryce and Dave for the Voya halftime report. Roy?
That is the perfectly executed tease by one Kevin Connors. Eddie Lee Marburger in at quarterback after Owen McCown lost his helmet right before the 2-minute timeout. Meanwhile, it's Barnes that races to the perimeter for a gain of 14, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Roadrunners. Owen McCown back on the field.
This is beautiful execution, Roy. I mean, they're taking as much time off the clock as they want to. They're going to get the ball at the end, at the beginning of the second half, and they're in scoring position. So complete control for Jeff Traylor in this UTSA offense.
And if you're Memphis, if you stop them here, you have to utilize a timeout. You believe wide open end zone, easy touchdown for Patrick Overmeyer. And the second of his young career. All 3 tight ends today have caught touchdowns for UTSA. Dishman, Thomas, and now Overmeyer reaching pay dirt.
One person's loss, Roy, another person's opportunity. So many injuries for this UTSA offense, but other guys get to step up. Patrick Overmeyer, former high school quarterback, gets a chance to find the zone.
Owen McCown spreading the wealth around in a big way. And if you're Memphis, that's not the worst thing that can happen there, because you've got all 3 timeouts and plenty of time to work with. And what's turned out to be a track meet inside the Alamo Dome.
Well, a track meet or maybe something like a volleyball match, because Patrick Overmeyer's mom played volleyball at The Ohio State University, athletic family. He finds the hidden zone. They communicate with their hands behind their back, and then Overmeyer gets in the end zone. So here's the thing, UTSA, tied game right now. They've made some big stops on defense. And their opportunity now, if they want to find a way to win this game, is to try and get a stop right here and maybe get points again.
It's a family affair when it comes to volleyball. One sister played it at Tulsa, the other at Colgate. So if it's a volleyball match.
That look, second sideline closing the half with a score like that.
3 touchdown strikes. Redshirt sophomore Owen McCown, son of Josh, currently the Minnesota Vikings quarterback coach, the NFL, for nearly 2 decades playing as a quarterback in the National Football League. Memphis gets it back. Nearly 90 seconds and 3 timeouts to work with. In a weird sense, that's almost too much time in a game like this.
That this team works on, so don't be surprised.
Tied at 24. What a game in the American. Hennigan steps up and delivers a strike. Another tight end reception. Landfear bolts ahead to the 45.
First downs are more important than getting out of bounds. That's one thing we heard from the offensive coordinator at Memphis. In situations like this, get the first down. The clock will stop until the chains are reset, so you're good to go.
Memphis already over 300 yards of total offense. Hennigan avoids the rush, directing traffic, and escapes in plus territory. Memphis goes through its 2-minute drill.
Time in practice in tougher situations, the games become cake. It's funny, they'll talk about the situations. They'll be like, all right, down by 17, we have 1 timeout, 10 seconds. It's like, dude, coach, come on, give me a realistic situation.
Hennigan on the move again, dumps it off. Mario Anderson Jr. avoid 1 defender.
What happens, at least in NFL media, end of half, end of game.
Play clock winding down. Hennigan's got to go. And Hennigan rocked and tall.
A week week, you're not saying, okay, in a whole series, you're splitting it into situational football. So 3rd and 6, you just called a timeout. You need a score. This is a situation they've repped over and over again.
Three-man rush. Hennigan, Anderson tried to power his way to the line to gain. And less than a yard to go. Memphis with 2 timeouts remaining, electing not to utilize one here. And Sam, remember, they were stopped on 4th and 1 moments ago near midfield.
Timeout.
It's
10 time.
If I'm Seth Hennigan,
I formation on 4th and inches. And it's Anderson off of left tackle, and I don't think so again.
Stepping French linebacking core.
And with a kick
second.
Taylor as a head coach only this season, but in the years to come.
Champion a 5-yard.
Second down, McCown sensing backside pressure, escapes, and is plowed to be
at least first down.
Without down to how many yards down. The out route is there. The first down achieved.
Get a returner back there. Have somebody back there standing right at the back of the end zone. If it's short, you have an opportunity to score on a kick 6.
So a 6
kicker
counts through, but as a kicker, that lets you know right now, I can get the T. You want to get that practice return man. Made one from 54 earlier in the half, from 61 on the way, and he got underneath it, and it's well short. Ross will field it 8 yards deep. Ross awaiting the convoy. There he goes.
The half. That penalty is declined. The half is.
We started. We are tied as well. Quickly, it is 3rd down.
And you talk about halftime. Taylor talked about the report from the coaches. To be effective, so this first series will show which team made quicker adjustments.
Amador went in motion, lines up in the slot, wide open, and that pass, there was a lot of pressure coming from Chandler Martin. Well, the Tigers,
mind you, that leadership
today. We've seen Kale right up near the Jumbotron here in the Alamo Dome. It's his
shots over
half. Memphis has yet to punt the football. Those 2 4th down stops are the reason this game is tied. 600 yards of total offense in the first half. And again, pocket collapses. Down he goes. Stopped way back near the 25. Brandon Brown was instrumental on one of those 4th down stops. And a little shimmy after the fact.
That Brandon Brown wears number 2, and that number 2 is very important for this San Antonio team. 210 is a San Antonio area code. To get one of those single digits, that 210, you have to be voted on by your teammates. That means he is respected by everyone. And why is he respected? Because he does the dirty work, takes on double teams, triple teams even, and finds a way to get to the quarterback.
Nacho, you know it's a rough game when you can barely tell what the number is on the jersey. He's being tugged and pushed and pulled all over the turf down there.
That's not rough for a defensive lineman. That's beautiful. You know you're getting action. You know you're in the backfield. You know you're making plays when the only way they can try to stop you is by trying to tear your jersey from your pads.
It's 3rd down. Lamphere to grab. 12 yards to go.
They can stop you by taking you off on 3rd down. I get it, you're a big guy, but hey, man, let the big guys eat, coach. Come on, 3rd down.
Let him eat.
Let him eat, man. He's hungry.
Roadrunners showing pressure. And Memphis sensing that there was early movement.
False start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, Owen Pee-wee was creeping towards the line of scrimmage. Jonah Gamble jumped before the snap. There were 7 in the box, maybe 8 before the penalty.
Jonah Gamble is one of their captains, and that's another penalty that we're seeing. False start from the offensive line. When defense brings pressure, it can cause offense to stress. So offense needs to calm down, specifically on the line of scrimmage.
Three-man pressure this time. Hannigan. Anderson dropped it. Wasn't going to reach first down yardage. 3 defenders right in front of him. Makes it 4th and 17. And for the first time, Memphis will punt the football.
What a big-time stop by this UTSA defense. You can see they're gaining confidence. That's their 3rd straight stop for UTSA after Memphis scored on their first 4 opportunities. But the confidence being gained by these new players who haven't played a ton, new players because of injury, it's showing up big.
Joshua Sloan, Memphis punter, transferred from UTEP. Penalty marker comes in. And a wobbler for a punt. Carpenter steps away. Roadrunners will get it in a tie game. The 16. A punt of 56 yards.
It's like an illegal formation. And if I'm UTSA, I want a re-kick. Let me kick it again.
Illegal formation. More than 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Will replay 4th down.
And the reason why I want to re-kick, Roy, is that all those guys on special teams just had to run down 50 and 60 yards with all of their energy. So they're tired. So if I'm re-kicking it, I'm UTSA, I'm like, hey, let me get a chance to get the ball in my returner's hands. But more than anything, the coverage unit, they are exhausted from sprinting full speed 60 yards.
I also don't want the football at my own 16-yard line.
I like being tired more.
End over end punt. Carpenter from the 34. Into Memphis territory. And brought down at the 44 by Joshua Sloan.
Roy, you said earlier how you want to talk more about special teams. You were a kicker. I love special teams too. I've ran down on kickoff before and on punt before. You get exhausted, so now with being so tired, they get the ball in the returner's hands. You're trying to cover, you can't do it. All of a sudden, 10, 15, 20-yard return.
Watching the American Conference on ESPN. A look at the River Center right there on the River Walk, downtown San Antonio. World famous River Walk, always a premium attraction for tourists, visitors, and announcers traveling into San Antonio. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. That penalty costing Memphis 40 yards of field position. Advantage UTSA as Carpenter goes in motion. They'll set up Memphis territory to begin this drive. Jet sweep the other direction. Carpenter on his feet. Boy, he is slippery in the open field, lightning quick. And a 6-yard gain. A play that felt more like a reverse than a jet sweep as he changed direction right before the snap.
But only certain players can run that play. It reminds me of Jamal Agnew, one of these real quick, fast return specialists / receivers / running backs in the NFL. They give it to the fast guys.
Sometimes it's that simple. Fake it to Carpenter. How about a double pass? Amador down to the 10. Dishman corrals it. Welcome back, David Amador. A gain of 27, a little trickeration after Halloween.
But not so tricky for David Amador, who switched to quarterback in high school his senior year and led his team to the state championship game at North Shore. He's from Houston, Texas, finally getting back healthy. Yes, he can play receiver, but he's got quarterback in his blood.
Jeff Traylor had a little look in his eye yesterday, and he said, we got a double pass ready. There it was. Amador connects. And on first down, a slant pattern in traffic. Carpenter got one hand on it, and Greg Rubin right in his field of vision. Able to make sure that pass was not caught for what could have been a touchdown. 2nd and goal. Wry grin from Rubin. Walking back. Well, you talked about red zone defense in the first half. Get the sense that That could be what this game comes down to. Ryan Silverfield mentioned that to Taylor beginning of the second quarter today. Henry against the grain. And that's Barnes. Stopped at the 8. 2-yard gain, 3rd and goal from there. Chandler Martin is starting to assert himself more as a starting linebacker for Memphis. And Barnes unable to break loose.
And Roy, at this point in the game, I'm not afraid to throw a fade ball to one of my receivers. So much inside has been stuffed, not so much running game through it between the tackles. But on that last play, both receivers were one-on-one. Now, it looks like some of the safeties are helping a little bit outside, but don't be afraid to attack the outside. Check out number 5, Carpenter, on a slot fade.
Also, the tight end's a big factor in the red zone. Speaking of the devil, Houston Thomas, his 2nd touchdown reception of the game. And now 4 touchdown tosses to tight ends on this Saturday in San Antonio.
I think it was Batman where Bane said, "Speak of the devil and he shall appear." You were thinking of the devil, and Houston Thomas appeared from College Station, Texas. These tight ends are stepping up big time, and as much as he's not on the field, I have to give so much credit, not just to Houston Thomas, not just to Dan Dishman, not just to Patrick Overmeyer, but to Oscar Cardenas, the leader of the group, got injured last week, and he's shown the way for some of these younger tight ends.
Well, somewhere after successful surgery yesterday, Oscar Cardenas is smiling, watching his understudies put out this kind of production in a critical game for the Roadrunners.
Little things. It's a little thing. Notice how Houston Thomas expanded his route just a bit. That's not something you learn from watching tape. You learn that from other people who have done it before. Cardenas, we're talking about him a lot, but he's a 6-year senior, been with this program before Jeff Traylor got here. He's the guy who makes all the big plays. Well, leadership says, hey, when I'm gone, somebody else has to do it. And now we're seeing all 3 tight ends step up and do the little tiny things. Adjust your route, be a big target for your quarterback, and step up in critical moments. This is like one of those moments in the season where the pendulum is shifting. Do you go in the tank? Do you step up? UTSA is answering the call.
Our 3rd lead change, and now 17 unanswered on the board here inside the dome for the Roadrunners. What a game, and one that Memphis has to have to stay in this championship race and to stay as a potential playoff contender in the new 12-team college football playoff. Big reveal coming up Tuesday, the exclusive reveal, those first college football playoff rankings. So we take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We've talked a lot already about Ohio State, Penn State, 17-13. And Miami now trailing by 11 at home in the Manny Diaz Bowl against Duke. So the former head coach of the Canes comes down to Miami Gardens. They're playing well.
And their defense is playing well, holding Miami to 17 points. Remember, last week in a loss versus SMU, they forced 6 turnovers. So Manny Diaz, former defensive coordinator even at Texas, going back to his days there, is forcing turnovers and giving his offense more possessions.
Demir Blankenship back on the field, and the inside handoff to Anderson goes nowhere, and you can feel Uncle Mo now on the side of UTSA. Momentum with the Roadrunners after scoring 17 straight, and John Jones made the tackle there.
And it's the defensive line. It's the guys who consistently make plays. They understand how inexperienced they are on the back end. And so what you do at halftime, what you do on the sideline is say, hey guys, we don't have to do anything extraordinary or supernatural, but let's play our brand of football. That's what we're seeing by John Jones and company.
Movement and a false start.
False start. Offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
As a coach, you have to think that drives Ryan Silverfield crazy when you have a wide receiver that jumps across the line before the ball is snapped.
Well, it's not even the wide receiver. It's the fact that this is the 3rd or 4th false start penalty in a stadium that's not even that long. 4 false starts. It's not that loud here, right? It's not like you're playing in 100,000 people. So they're having self-inflicted mistakes that are costing them so far the lead and so far the game.
And again, Taylor Contested football near midfield. And Ty Milton up to the challenge. Remember, Ty Milton stepping in for Denver Harris, who's injured today. Davin Martin stepping in for Zay Frazier, the other cornerback spot, who's also injured. And it's 3rd and long.
Well, stepping in and stepping up. Look at Ty Milton's eyes. He's playing cover 3, so his eyes are back on the quarterback. And then you want to catch that ball, I get it. But Ty Milton hasn't been starting all season long, and so he's getting a chance to make a play for his team.
That was offensive pass interference. Jeff Traylor wanted the call, didn't get it. Taylor did a nice job to break up what could have been a pick. Tigers 2 of 7 on 3rd down. Hennigan delivers an errant toss that was nearly intercepted. And over the head of Brock Taylor. Well, this UTSA defense starting to become an impactful unit against the ultra cool and calm Seth Hennigan.
And their special teams as well. UTSA, remember, 54-yard field goal. That's a season high, a stadium record, a school record. And then remember that last big return by Chris Carpenter. Another backed up field goal. So expect this ball to be returned past the 50-yard line. Battle of field position. Backed up punt, excuse me.
Sloan. Carpenter. Same return. Pass midfield. Hammered down at the 48. Punt of 49 and a return of 21. Advantage UTSA with the lead and the football when we come back.
Welcome back inside the Alamo Dome. UTSA with a 31-24 lead over Memphis. Time for our player spotlight, brought to you by Oral-B. UTSA wide receiver JT Clark has battled injuries for the last couple of years, leading the team with 741 yards in 2022 before sustaining a right knee injury that took multiple surgeries and years of rehab. He returned to play this year, and you can't make this stuff up, guys. A year since his last catch, his first catch back against FAU, tore his ACL in his left knee, is out for the remainder of the season, but has been named a captain here tonight. The blackout uniforms you see the Roadrunners donning are actually his design. He said it was on his bucket list to wear all black in his career. He's been down here on the sideline, big race wrapping that left knee. I talked to him pre-game. He said, the best thing I can do now, speak life in my guys, encourage these young guys who are getting the opportunity that unfortunately was taken from me. He said, I don't understand the purpose yet, but I'm going to try and figure it out. An incredible young man that's continued to try and make an impact even from the sideline.
Yeah, #1 in black from White High School in Fort Worth. Sammy played multiple sports in high school. Has already graduated with a degree in women's studies this past May. He's there for his guys. It'll be 3rd down and short, but it's amazing to see him on the field today as a team captain at midfield before kick and supporting this team despite multiple ACL tears.
Yeah, and I called a UTSA game a couple years ago when they played Texas in 2022, and he is a problem. Like, as a receiver, he's one of the hardest guys to stop. In man-to-man coverage, he's a jump ball guy. So he's hoping to get back this game. That was the reason why they chose this game as the black jerseys. Unfortunately, he's not back yet, but still leading the team.
David Amador was the quarterback who handed off to Robert Henry Jr. on that last play. McCown back in on 3rd and 4, and a first down. Chain mover to Houston Thomas. Now, Thomas had 1 touchdown before today. He's got 2 already this afternoon. A gain of 11. The drive continues for the Roadrunners, trying to seize control in the 3rd.
You know, the only 1 touchdown, he still led the tight end group in catches, led the tight end group in yards. And so no matter who was there, he was still a primary target. Now those targets and the share of targets has increased.
If we had a telestrator on that last play right here, I would have circled him and he would have scored, and that would have been play-by-play legendary performance. Completed, nearly intercepted. Hardy, the intended receiver. DJ Bell had that pick last week. Remarkable play against Charlotte. Was in coverage and got a fingertip on it.
Yeah, he had a huge pick last week, but I'm looking at the score and I'm looking at the momentum. Right now, UTSA is up by 7. If UTSA can score a touchdown right here with a 2-score lead, with all the momentum you have on defense, you're feeling pretty good. If someone on Memphis can force an interception, everything changes.
Count to Carpenter. Boy, a professional level catch. Getting both feet inbounds before stepping out. Chris Carpenter, a magician this afternoon, a gain of 18.
He flew, or he hung in the air. My favorite movie, just for those who don't know, it's called Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And in that movie, there were a lot of like these people hanging in the air and flying. I didn't realize they used these ropes and things. It looked like he had one of those deals on his back, hanging in the air.
We'll try Barnes over the left side, and no. William Whitlow Jr. tackle for loss. UTSA goes back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 15. Sam, does it feel like Memphis is in search of some kind of spark? You just referenced the potential for a big play. Either side of the ball, they've been stagnant the last quarter or so.
Yeah, they need a stop on defense, and that stop could even be something as simple as holding UTSA to a field goal. But that's what they need. They have had no momentum in the last few series.
Brandon Hyde Jr. on the swing pass. The yardage, rather the TFL yardage will be reverse. It'll be 3rd and 5, maybe 6 after a gain of 8. And Patrick Overmeyer doing some dirty work that time, not catching touchdowns, but blocking in front for Brandon Hyde Jr., who's now back and healthy for the Roadrunners.
And these are the times where I think about players like Chandler Martin on the Memphis side. He's had a couple big plays at linebacker. This would be a situation right there in the middle of your screen where he could make a play.
Right behind his nose guard. And a timeout called.
Timeout, UTSA.
The lead is 7, 5:17 to go in the third down coming up for UTSA. College football presented by Ashley. The lead is 7 for UTSA. 3rd down coming up. Roadrunners in search of that first big win and upset. It's 7-1 Memphis this afternoon. Samacho, Roy Philpott, and Taylor Davis. Roadrunners have been perfect in the red zone thus far. Brandon Hyde remains on the field at running back. Overmeyer motions out. Little shimmy, a pump fake for McCown. Throws it to the end zone and nobody's home. Out of bounds. It'll be 4th. So the Memphis defense comes up with a stop. And Greg Rubin trying to track down Owen McCown was successful as McCown delivered the pass out of bounds.
That was a great play by the Memphis defense. So they were trying to get that ball to Patrick Overmeyer, who had motioned out and ran essentially a wheel and go, or a screen and go. Ran that play last week. It was watched on film. Great job by Memphis.
Tate Sandell missed from 61, connected from 54. And on the field will split the uprights from 32 yards here. Roadrunners have their largest lead, 34-24. AAC on ESPN Plus, your exclusive home for more than 1,000 games and events. It's also the destination for All-American Championships, as well as the All-Access Series. It takes you inside the lives of student athletes. Also, for a limited time, new and returning ESPN Plus subscribers get 12 months for the price of 9 months. Visit ESPNplus.com. That's ESPNplus.com for more info. UTSA trying to turn its season around. Still with a chance to get to a bowl game. And a 10-point lead at home, a place where the Roadrunners never lose. Undefeated this year, only 3 losses in 5 seasons. Jeff Traylor is the head coach, and for Owen McCown, another really solid start for an emerging talented quarterback here in San Antonio. Colorado transfer. Think about the bloodlines with his father, Josh, currently the Minnesota Vikings quarterbacks coach with 20 years in the NFL. As a quarterback, a 3rd-round draft pick. McCown's only going to get better. Memphis gets it back from their own 25. What do you want to see differently for Hennigan, Anderson, in this Memphis offense?
I want to see them take more shots down the field. And the reason why is that the very first play of the game for Seth Hennigan in Memphis, they threw a deep shot one-on-one with the corner, and it wasn't a catch, but it was a positive play, a pass interference on the defense. They've gone back to it 1 or 2 more times. I think there are opportunities for this Memphis offense to attack the inexperience of the secondary for UTSA.
Without 3 starters today, Denver Harris, Zay Frazier, Ken Robinson, trying to hold on for dear life. On first down, Hennigan with a man in his face, got rid of it, and was sent down back at the 6. Taylor Davis, what was the mood on the UTSA sideline for their defense after the last possession?
Yeah, you guys mentioned the inexperience in the secondary, but down here on the sideline, that group is gaining a lot of confidence. I overheard a conversation about be ready for interceptions. They feel like they're really getting to Seth Hennigan, kind of getting him off his game a little bit. They feel they can get him to throw irresponsibly. And keep in mind, this defense is on an 18-game streak with both a takeaway and a sack. Brandon Brown told me we take a lot of pride in that. They're looking for a turnover.
Brown has been a force. On second down, there's the shot. Rock Taylor able to catch up to it. There was some hand fighting deep down the field. Dumont, Caleb Brown tracking Rock Taylor. Quickly, it's 3rd and long again for the Tigers.
And quickly, this defensive line is getting to the quarterback. They're not blitzing like they had before. They're winning with 4. And that allows some of these younger corners to gain more experience, because people talk about the rush and the coverage working together. When the pass rush can actually affect the quarterback, it makes the job of the people in coverage easier because the ball comes out quicker.
Roadrunners want another 3 and out. Hennigan, jump pass to Anderson. He's got a long ways to go and will not get there across the 30 and driven down. It'll be 4th and a long 3. Brevin Randall the tackle. 5 straight possessions UTSA has stoned this Memphis offense.
And what happens with that is, as a defense, and Taylor alluded to it, your confidence starts to build. Yes, the young secondary, their confidence builds, but also the D-line, they're saying, man, these guys cannot block me. The linebackers are saying, man, I'm getting after the ball. So everybody on this defense is growing together, not just individually, but as a unit.
Roadrunners special teams have been impressive. Long field goal, program record, 54 yards. Tate Sandell. Punt return game with Chris Carpenter. Ball for the fair catch here and kicking around like a soccer ball for a moment. How about the Memphis offense without a first down in this second half?
How about those soccer? Can you do that, Roy? I know you play soccer. Can you do that?
I played for nearly 20 years. I couldn't do that if you gave me $1 million to try it.
I mean, I played for 1 year or 2, like when I was little. I still can't do that. Now, my daughter, maybe she's playing soccer now, but I mean, how do you?
Well, it's not easy with an oblong ball.
It's like that commercial with Mahomes, and they're kicking that ball around. Hey, impressive, Mr. Carpenter.
Chris Carpenter, a talented young man.
And he can pitch.
Owen McCown back on the field. It took me a second. Backside pressure, McCown got rid of it. That was about to be a disaster. But now contact. Pressure coming from William Whitlow Jr.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 3. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Tyron Taylor. McCown took a big shot on that incompletion, but a free first down on the penalty.
Yeah, another penalty by this UTSA defense. Had a couple false starts. Now you see the holding.
1st and 10. Brandon Hyde. Slither his way for a gain of 2. Whitlow the tackle. And now UTSA in this unusual position. Underdog here at home, but with a 2-score lead and not in any kind of hurry. Knowing what the Memphis offense is capable of. Roadrunners, remember, blew a 28-point lead at Tulsa last week. We'll try Carpenter. He'll pick up 2. Coffee the tackle. It's 3rd down.
Talked about the stops for UTSA, but Memphis, another third and long. Last time we saw Memphis play zone. One of the other 3rd downs, we saw Memphis blitz. The issue with playing zone is that McCown's done a great job of finding the soft spots in the zone. So I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis decided to pressure on this one.
Roadrunners 6 of 10 on 3rd down. They need 6. McCown, boy, contested reception. Well, the tight end corrals it. Houston Thomas would stop 3 yards short of the line to gain, and Jeff Traylor elect to punt the football. So Memphis was uncomfortable. It wasn't easy. They'll force the punt.
Yeah, that's a big-time stop by Memphis. Now the question, to your point, is when will they get some scores on offense? UTSA 5 or 6 straight stops on defense. Complementary football means you stop them, but you're expecting your offense to score.
McCown was hit hard again. Back-to-back plays. Cale Hogan, 44 yards per punt last week. Drake the fair catch at the 20. Think about the comeback by Tulsa, trailing 35-7. No problem for the Golden Hurricane against UTSA a week ago. If you're a Roadrunner defensive player, you think back to what went wrong a week ago. If you're Memphis, you think, okay, we've seen greater deficits overcome later in the game than what we're faced with this afternoon.
But that game was different. Against Charlotte, Memphis was able to get the ball up and down the field. They just struggled in the red zone. So far, Memphis hasn't been able to get the ball down the field, so it's really the middle of the second quarter. So UTSA has a lot more confidence on this side of the ball than Memphis does.
Fake it to Anderson and lobbed incomplete to Hawkins. UTSA's defense is thinking about forcing another 3 and out.
They are, and they're creating so much pressure, it's keeping the quarterback off balance. That time it was Danye Taylor with the pressure on the QB. When you blitz so much, you have an opportunity to give up big plays, but you can also get a quarterback rattled because he doesn't have time to set his feet.
Just 5 in the box. Hennigan back to the air. Rock Taylor. Pitch and catch across the 25, a 7-yard gain. Milton chopped him down, and Taylor remains on the turf.
Timeout for an injured player of the offense.
Now, Demir Blankumsey, injured in the first half touchdown celebration, is back on the field here in our third quarter. And while we have a moment, let's check in the studio and Kevin Connors.
And Roy, Miami has rallied from 10 down to take the lead behind Elijah Lofton.
This was a short field drive. The defense, which had been getting torched, finally got an interception against Duke and set them up for the go-ahead touchdown.
They head to the fourth quarter, Miami in front on ABC.
It's 28-17. It feels like just 2 minutes ago. So the Hurricanes, as we've seen them do this year, they have comeback ability.
Yeah, they've been down before and coming back, but going back to this game, Roy, without Blankumsey, and then now without Rock Taylor, you start to wonder, okay, why has UTSA had so much success or Memphis struggled? Those are your 2 primary receivers. You're already without one of them. Now people who don't often get the ball have to step up.
Hennigan just 2 for his last 8. Brendan Doyle, the false start.
Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty, third down.
This has been an issue for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's the penalties and the inexperience, but on the Memphis side, we talked about it from the UTSA side, but the point is Memphis has 2 main targets. They don't spread the ball all around, and in practice, those guys get those reps. Right now, both of those targets, Rock Taylor and Blankumsey, are out. So somebody, whether it's Kobe Drake or somebody on this offense, has to step up from the receiver position.
Little stop and go. Hennigan. Jumping grab made at the 36 by Hawkins. So Jamari Hawkins has 2 receptions on this season. He comes up clutch on 3rd and long.
Well, that's what we were talking about, somebody stepping up. Jamari Hawkins is lower on the depth chart, but higher in his opportunity. When the ball is coming your way and you make the plays, you build trust between yourself and the quarterback. Great job by Hawkins making a play for his cue.
Number 19 in white was on the top rung of the ladder. Keep the drive alive for Memphis. Their first down of the second half. Hennigan Got rid of it just in time, and it's intercepted. Picked off. Jamarius Lewis stepped right in front of the Memphis wide receiver. First interception of the season for the transfer from New Mexico. And here come the Roadrunners again.
Uncle Mo showed up once again. This is zone defense, so Jamarius Lewis has his eyes on the quarterback the entire way. He's playing backside, he's safety. He jumps in front of the route, and he just patiently sees the ball. Anthony Lanfear was meant to catch that ball. Lewis says, I'll take it.
First turnover of the game for either side. Remember, Memphis had the 2 turnover on downs in the second quarter. And the Roadrunners, for the 4th time as well, begin a possession in Memphis territory. Play action. McCown on the move. And another first down. Overmeyer. A chain mover. Gain of 12. Ruled down at the 30. What could be the final play of an eventful third quarter for the Roadrunners, in position to turn their season around. And just 15 minutes away here inside the Alamo Dome. A 10-point lead for UTSA.
1 quarter remains here in San Antonio. UTSA leading Memphis 34-24. Coach Traylor, you pointed out to me at half, young guys against a challenging opponent. You've got a 10-point lead in the 4th. How do you close it with a win?
Oh, we've got to finish. I mean, our defense has been a huge turnover. We'd like to get a touchdown here instead of a field goal. This is kind of where we've been all year. You know, up 10, up 7, down 7-0. Can we finish the 4th quarter? We've been really good at home all year. We haven't been very good on the road. Thank God we're home. Let's see if we can change this thing.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all. God bless. Birds up.
Thank you, Taylor. First play, the start of the 4th quarter. A.J. Watts brings down Robert Henry Jr. for a loss of 1. Samacho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. Memphis 2-62 going back 20 years, facing a double-digit deficit to begin the 4th quarter. History aligned against the 7-1 Tigers. Can that change this afternoon? Deep shot, Carpenter. And clean play. Defense was there. Davion Ross, they've been going back and forth most of this game, and a head check or 2, a forearm or 2 deep down the field.
Yeah, he lost the ball. Chris Carpenter didn't know where the ball was, didn't know he was the main target. Otherwise, that was a nicely placed ball. But expect them to go back to him. He's been open the last few series, so I know he's out of the game right now, but there are opportunities for Carpenter to make plays.
3rd and long, no Chris Carpenter. Can Memphis take advantage? Barnes in at running back. Thomas goes in motion. McCown. Well, he had Thomas, finally gets it to him, and Thomas barrels his way inside the 25. It'll be 4th and a long 1 for Jeff Traylor. Field goal, it's still a 2-score game. Showing signs of wanting to go for it.
Yeah, that's why you do go for it, right? You can field goal right now, 2 touchdowns, you're down. You get a first down here. Not only does time run off the clock, but now all of a sudden you can make it into a 3-score game.
Ryan Silverfield can only watch. Analytics tell you to go for it on 4th and 3 or less. 3 tight ends on the field. Empty backfield. McCown, slant. Incomplete, and Memphis comes up with a stop. Well, Carpenter was back on the field on 4th down, and guess who? DJ Bell, who has a knack for coming up the big play in the 4th.
Big play, DJ gets an opportunity to be one-on-one on the backside. He's 6'3", uses his hands, reaches in, and makes a game-changing play.
Lead is 10 for UTSA. If a little DJ Bell is good, more is better. The big play moments ago on 4th and 1, breaking up the slant pattern, which would have resulted in a first down. How about the pick last week in the comeback against Charlotte?
Well, less than 5 minutes left in the game. This is an unbelievable interception at a critical point in the game, and that's what DJ Bell is starting to show that he can do, make big-time plays in big-time moments.
Memphis gets the football back, Sam. Rock Taylor also back on the field. DJ Bell gives the Tigers a chance. Hannigan, all kinds of real estate. Off the pump fake, tripped up crossing the 40. Maybe that is the spark this offense has needed in the second half.
And he's a vet. I mean, Seth Hannigan is a 21-year-old vet. That's a vet move. The pass he wanted to throw wasn't there. Dumas runs right by him, and then he just does what's natural, which is just run because nobody's there.
On first down, Taylor into plus territory. Ball popped out late. And let's see what the ruling is. A conversation with his veteran AAC crew. It was ripped out of there. Kevin Randall, our referee.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, UTSA.
Remember, Taylor was injured, needed help to get off the field. Back on it for this possession. His first reception ends in disaster for the time being, and let's see.
Ball is out. Roy, that ball is out. And that was Cyrus Duma with the punch out. Here's one, curl up a little bit more. Talk about football and things being turnovers. It's not a turnover. You are taking the ball away from the offense. That's exactly what Duma did.
An interception, 2 4th down stops, the fumble recovery. UTSA gonna take a shot. Ripped away at the last minute by DJ Bell. 60 yards down the field against Carpenter again.
Well, I know you're excited about that, Roy, but it looked like DJ Bell and then long arms was all over Chris Carpenter from my vantage point. It looked like there was some material restriction by DJ Bell. Now see the arm on the shoulder pad. And, of course, when it's slower, it's not as big. And
that's a penalty.
That actually, as I watch it, it looks more like, hey, man, how are you doing, my friend? Put your hand on somebody's shoulder.
But then he pulled him backwards.
He didn't pull him back.
2nd and 10. Barnes rumbles straight ahead into Memphis territory. 3rd and 5. And once again, Memphis will lean on this defense, and Chandler Martin can find a way to create a stop.
They went to the line of scrimmage quickly so that they can use that helmet communication, right? It stays on until about 15 seconds. You have the defense show what they're in, and now you make your adjustments.
Fishman went in motion. McCown wants to run for it. He may have had the edge, instead cut it back. Brought down by Chandler Martin. It will be very close. The initial indication, 4th and inches.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, there's no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind. Should be a doubt in their mind as well. You have the momentum. You don't want to give it back. You're in plus territory inside of your own 50-yard line.
I remember the slant pattern on 4th and 1 moments ago, with 3 tight ends on the field to the opposite side. McCown under center. Play action, looking towards the tight end, floats in, incomplete. And a flag comes in late. Thomas gets up limping. There was contact with Ross. And a holding call coming against the Memphis secondary. Well, that ball's a little underthrown.
Holding defense, number 1. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Now, Roy, that play, there was definitely some material restriction. Material meaning a jersey. Restriction, you see the pull. Right here, you're going to see Davion Ross be beat. And when he's beat, he grabs the jersey and pulls it. That's an easy call for any referee. And a great play by the quarterback.
Sam, it's a great call because it happened so early in the route. Ball was in the air right as he started to make his cut. And now Memphis with 11 penalties in this game. That has been a true difference. Barnes corralled. Lassoed down at the 31 by Herring. UTSA was the program.
Early on the field as the runner was down by rule prior to the ball coming loose. Second down.
Suffered from all the penalties this season. It's been an issue today. 7 infractions for 65 yards. They came in averaging almost 10 per contest. So at least in the second half, they've cleaned that part of the game up.
And you don't feel the energy from the Memphis side of the ball. I mean, that's what the guy I'm watching. You just feel like the Memphis defense is kind of just there. There needs to be some energy, some excitement.
Fake it to high. 2nd and 8. McCown just has to get rid of it. Chandler Martin with the pressure. 3rd and 8. The Memphis defense gets back against the wall once again. They are within field goal range of Tate Sandell. It would be about a 48 or 49 yarder. Field goal still keeps it within that 2-score striking distance.
Yeah, and you don't want that if you're UTSA. You're up on a team that you didn't think you're going to be up on. You're moving the ball up and down the field. So even if you don't get the full 7 or 8 yards, get close enough where you can go for it on 4th.
McCown on the move again to the perimeter. And McCown throws it at the last minute, incomplete. Racing out of bounds was Jace Wilson. A.J. Watts was right behind him. And here comes Sandell on for the field goal. Well, he dialed one up from long distance. Nearly made a 61-yarder before a timeout was called as he bounced it in over the upright. Just right at the end of the half. Connected on 2, including a program record 54-yarder earlier. This one from 48. Center cuts. Sandell on the way. And Sandell back.
The love.
There's no anything but the
hands. Shout out to the quick hands.
Field goal. And the Tigers with new life and plenty of time left on our 4th quarter clock. Samacho Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. 7 empty possessions in a row for the Tigers offense. Drake corrals it, and the comeback is there at the 36. So a 5-yard gain on 1st down. Duma the tackle. And Memphis has just been stuck in quicksand in the second half.
Yeah, and they need to find a way out of that quicksand. They need to find a way, even if it's a field goal. Maybe it's to your tight ends. Maybe you get the ball to Lanfear more. Maybe you stick to Drake. But just matriculate the ball down the field and get some sign of life to give your team the confidence that they had from last week.
Tigers had 2 turnovers in their previous 3 plays before that 1st down grab. Hennigan out of rhythm in the second half. Rock Taylor down the field and incomplete. Not sure Taylor's the same receiver after the injury.
Good amount of man.
Different quarterback from the first half to the second. Seth Hennigan with the season on the line and perhaps a chance at an AAC championship on the line as well. 3rd down, the pump fake. Hennigan again. Floats it. Caught. No, he dropped it coming down. Mario trained
guys
and to
a defense that's been dominant. A 4th down stop here for UTSA could suck all the life out of Memphis.
Tigers gotta have it. 3-man pressure. Hennigan delivers, incomplete. Taylor was there. Milton was as well, and Ty Milton made sure that drive didn't continue for 7-1 Memphis.
They're growing up right in front of our eyes. And no, Ty Milton is not a young player, but he's getting more and more experience and more confidence. Plays that route to perfection, avoids the PI, and that's a turnover, right? We talk about 4th down stops. 4th down stop equals turnover. Great job, Ty Milton.
3 4th down stops today for the UTSA defense. First 2 on 4th and 1. The second, or the third rather, on 4th and 5. And Memphis in this second half, just 2 first downs. Remember, the Tigers once led in this game 24-17. And a reminder, we are just getting started on this Saturday, 3:30 Eastern. Moments away, ABC, ESPN Plus, Florida, Georgia, down in Jacksonville. Later tonight in primetime, also on ABC. 10th-ranked Texas A&M. Will it be Marcel Reed, Connor Wigman against South Carolina? The upstart Gamecocks push LSU to the limit earlier down at Williams-Brice Stadium. Push Alabama to the limit at Bryant-Denny on the road just 2 weeks ago. Upside-minded Gamecocks under Shane Beamer. Wide open, first down, a little bit more, and a punishing delivery. Dan Dishman bringing the tight end back to San Antonio.
Roy, that hit hurt me. Like, I played outside linebacker. I don't like tight ends necessarily. I felt that up in the booth. Man, Dan Dishman and this entire tight end group is punishing. They are a punishing group that is taking advantage of their opportunity.
It's 23 yards for the 6'6", 250-pounder Dan Dishman, who now has 3 grabs for 55 in that first half touchdown.
But it's more than 23 yards, Roy. It's a statement. That's a statement for this offense.
Handoff to High. Approaching 8 to play. Chandler Martin the tackle after a gain of 4. And Sam, for Memphis to have any shot, you get the sense they've got to limit UTSA to a field goal attempt.
And UTSA doesn't care. I mean, when you hit somebody like that, your entire offensive line says, I'm going to block harder. Your other tight ends say, I'm going to try and hit somebody like that. Your running backs say, give me an opportunity. That was a statement hit by Dan Dishman from UTSA.
Dishman, Houston Thomas, Patrick Overmeyer. Brandon High with a path and a cut. Stop at the 2. And UTSA can secure a first down without scoring. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard here. In search of that comeback win. Trying to turn this 3-5 season around. And no doubt the Roadrunners are thinking, roll the dice on 4th down if it comes to it. High says it will not, across the goal line for the touchdown. Before the ball squirted out, 6 more on the board for the Roadrunners.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Memphis on the verge of dropping its 2nd game of the year. The Roadrunners pitching a shutout.
Being unstoppable. And then he got injured, and that injury changed the entire dynamic of this game. He's explosive. He's a big-time playmaker. But that injury took away the explosion of this offense, some of the playmaking ability.
Timeout for the Roadrunners.
Timeout, UTSA.
Didn't have much real estate to work. Association, all the coaches for the Roadrunners. It's about that. Quarterback, these to be right back.
They also have recruiting. Think about it. Jeff Traylor is extremely well known. So you're in
big-time Power 4 programs that have wanted to talk with him, that he has spoken with. And he fits in the grand scheme. The 4 being 4-7.
The AAC at
7-2, and now 2 setbacks in the AAC. Tate Sandell back on the field. It's been a career afternoon for him in the Alamo Dome. 54-yarder, and now his 3rd field goal of the game, this time from 42.
Playing. So
Caden Costa kicking that field goal. Felt like that was going to comes back. Both kickers on out of bounds. Sequence alive and well.
And their hopes for future success. It's not just a bowl game. When you start thinking about changing an organization, changing a team, you want recruits to watch you win. You want success to start becoming part of your culture. Owen McCown is trying to lead the way, and Jeff Traylor knows how to do it.
Devastating loss for Memphis. AAC championship hopes, playoff hopes. Jeff Traylor got the job done for the Roadrunners. He told us yesterday it's going to take a miracle. It wasn't quite that. This team showed a lot of grit and toughness with an upset at home this afternoon.
Confident, courageous, poised. This UTSA team is showing something they haven't shown in a while, which is the ability to be resilient no matter who's been in and who's been out.
8th straight win here at the Alamo Dome, 15 of 16. 44-36 the final. Taylor Davis with Owen McCown.
Thank you, Roy. Well, Owen, this season has had some ups and downs for you guys, but you told me this week how you respond says more about who you are. What kind of response did this team show to get a win over Memphis?
Yeah, I think this game was a reflection of our program. You know, to lose like how we did last week and then to come back and do this against a very good team, I mean, it shows a lot of character for the guys.
Next man up has really been personified for you guys this season, one of those being Chris Carpenter. Another 100-yard day for him, a guy you've got some history with. What's it been like to see him get into his stride?
Yeah, like you said, a guy I grew up knowing, you know, and for him to step up with Devin McEwen, another guy I ironically know, go down, and for him to play back-to-back games like this is big time.
Another 4-touchdown, no interception day for you. You carry yourself like a veteran, but as you continue to get experience yourself as this starter, what are you seeing out there that's allowing this offense to take steps forward?
Yeah, I just think it's not overlooking plays, you know, executing every play. We learned that the hard way last week is every play matters. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, doesn't matter. So today I think that showed a little more. Still probably not where we want it to be, but obviously came out the win. That's all that matters.
This team's been tested in so many ways. What did this win at home mean?
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, it's a reflection of our program. You know, this is a tough place to play, and for these seniors, I know it's been an up and down road, but to get this win I'm really excited for those guys.
Happy to see it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a performance for Owen McCown, and the best is yet to come. The redshirt sophomore and the Colorado transfer. Sam, over 920 yards of total offense today.